Jayson Tatum.
A three, Tatum. Hits and we're tied.
First team All-NBA, Jayson Tatum.
Tatum on the strong finish.
Jaylen Brown.
Going back to meet him. Jaylen bumped and scored.
Derrick White.
That's good. Third time's the charm for the Celtics. There's Mitchell blocked by Derrick White.
Porzingis. The Celtics remain the scariest team in the NBA. The pieces have been in place for a while now. Tatum and Brown, the franchise cornerstones, have been growing into their primes. Derrick White has solidified himself as a crucial two-way player. Porzingis, once seen as an enigma, is proving his worth on the biggest stage. And under the leadership of head coach Joe Mazzulla, Boston has built a juggernaut, a team that doesn't just win, but dominate. Having come off a championship, this group knows the regular season isn't that important. The Cavs and Thunder, they can have the best record. The season truly begins when the playoffs begin. When the Celtics step on the court, they bring a blend of skill, versatility, and hunger that few teams can match. And it all starts with their leader, Jayson Tatum. Tatum has always been the face of the franchise, but this season, he's taken another leap. He's not just putting up numbers, he's controlling games. Averaging around 26 points per game, Tatum has become a master at dissecting defenses, using his elite footwork and shot-making ability to score at all three levels. But it's not just the scoring, he's improved tremendously as a playmaker, making the right reads and keeping Boston's offense flowing. He's dishing out 5.8 assists per game. His rebounding has been strong, and his defense, while often overlooked, is as sharp as ever. He's been a force on the boards, grabbing 8.7 rebounds per game. Defensively, he's averaging 1.1 steals and 0.5 blocks per game. In fact, against the Raptors, I saw him beat a center to the tip-off.
Yes! Wins the tap.
Jumping center, that's got to be the first ever.
His ability to read the game, contest shots, and disrupt passing lanes proves that he's locked in on both ends of the floor. When it comes to efficiency, Tatum has been reliable. He's shooting 45% from the field. Whether it's pulling up from deep, finishing at the rim, or creating his own shot, he's keeping defenses on their toes every single night. In the biggest moments when the Celtics need a bucket or a stop, it's Tatum that they turn to. Whether he's hitting dagger threes or locking down the opposing team's best player, he's proving that he's more than just a superstar. One of his best performances came on February 8th, 2025 when he dropped 40 points against the New York Knicks, leading Boston to a dominant 131-104 win. Games like that prove why he's the leader of this team, ready to take them as far as they can go. Then next to Jayson Tatum is the second star that plays like a first, Jaylen Brown. While Tatum might be seen as the face of the franchise, Brown is its engine. While he has been struggling with his three-point shot, he is still a consistent scoring threat, averaging almost 23 points per game. Even when the three isn't falling, he drives aggressively to the basket and can punish you from mid-range. His 28 points against the Pelicans was a reminder to the NBA world that he is still the reigning finals MVP. Beyond his scoring, Brown's defensive contributions have been so valuable. He consistently takes on challenging defensive assignments, utilizing his physicality and athleticism to really disrupt the opposition. His commitment on both ends of the floor show his status as a premier two-way player in the league. How many teams in the NBA can say that their two stars are committed on both ends of the court? Just like Tatum, Brown also has the ability to step up in critical moments. On February 26, 2025, Brown scored 8 of his 24 points in the fourth quarter, sealing a 111-101 win against the Toronto Raptors. The fact that the Celtics have two players that can deliver under pressure makes them so much scarier than any other team in the league. The Cavs, for example, have Mitchell, but who else can be relied upon in the clutch? OKC has Shea, but who's the other guy that can step up when needed? The Lakers now have two players like that, but are Luka and LeBron committed defensively like the two Jays? Then on top of the two stars, the Celtics have the best glue guy in the entire league. Derrick White has taken his game to another level this season, proving to be one of the most important players for the Celtics. He's averaging 16.3 points per game, showing that he's not just a defensive specialist, he's a reliable scoring option too. He's shooting 44.6% from the field and knocking down 38.8% of his three-pointers, making him a real threat from deep. But he's not just scoring, he's also setting up his teammates, dishing out 4.3 assists per game and keeping the Celtics offense running smoothly. On defense, well, we've known that White has been a solid player for his entire career. He's averaging 0.9 steals and 1.1 blocks per game, which is pretty impressive for a guard. It also shows his ability to be able to guard multiple positions and make life really tough for opposing players. Whether he's contesting shots, disrupting passing lanes, or blocking jumpers, he's been a key part of Boston's defensive success. White has also stepped up when it matters the most, delivering standout performances all season. On January 26th, he dropped 23 points, including 4 3-pointers in a 122-107 win over the Dallas Mavericks. On February 4th, with the game on the line against the Cavs, White led the Celtics in the fourth quarter, helping them secure a 112-105 win against one of the East's best teams. On February 23rd, White stuffed the stat sheet with 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists in a win over the New York Knicks. Derrick White might not always be the first name people talk about when discussing the Celtics, but make no mistake, he's one of the biggest reasons they're playing like championship contenders. While Boston's starters are elite, their bench has been crucial in winning games. In the last 12 games, when Pritchard and Hauser are on the floor together, the Celtics have outscored the opponent by 24.7 points per 100 possessions. A big reason for that? Tatum's playmaking. He's been spending more time with the second unit, and his gravity opens up clean looks for Pritchard and Hauser, who barely need any space to launch three. On top of that, Boston's bench plays defense. Yes, Horford and Kornet protect the rim, while Pritchard and Hauser provide energy on the perimeter. The chemistry has been a game changer for the Celtics, and if they stay healthy, their depth will be the difference in another title run. Not long ago, Boston had a rebounding problem. Head coach Joe Mazzulla even called out his team for their lack of effort. That's rare for him, so you know it was a serious issue. For a team that once led the league in defensive rebounding, dropping to 22nd place in January was alarming. They weren't boxing out, they weren't hustling, and opponents kept getting second chance opportunities. But something changed. Over the last few games, Boston has been locking down the boards, leading the league in defensive rebound rate. When they clean up those missed shots, their defense is nearly impossible to crack. Mazzulla put it perfectly. Our first shot defense is really good, and when teams aren't getting second chances, well, the Celtics control the game. Boston's roster is built on versatility. Some nights they go small and space the floor, other nights they overpower you with size. Lately, it's been the latter. Over the past few games, Mazzulla has leaned into a double big lineup for almost 50% of their total minutes. When Porzingis, Al Horford, Kornet, or Tillman share the floor, Boston becomes a nightmare for opposing teams. When Porzingis and Horford play together, Boston is outscoring teams by 7.6 points per 100 possession. When Horford and Kornet team up, well, that number jumps to 10.7 points per 100 possession. These lineups clog the paint, they force bad shots, and absolutely dominate the glass. While the big lineup might not have worked against Detroit, the Celtics will want to keep playing bigs as the playoffs approach, or at least have that lineup in their back pocket. For a team known for its shooting, December and January were rough. The Celtics ranked just 18th in 3-point percentage, and at times, it felt like they couldn't buy a bucket. But the law of averages is real, and in the last few games, Boston has shot 38.8% from deep, ranking second in the NBA. And they're not just making threes, they're making more than anyone else. Boston is averaging 18.3 made threes per game, nearly 2 more than the next best team. Even in the loss to Detroit, when their inside game disappeared, they hit 21 of 49 threes, which is 42.9%. That's right, I did the math. What's been the difference? Well, their key shooters seem to be finding their rhythm. Derrick White broke out of a slump and is on fire again. Hauser is back to shooting over 40% from 3. Porzingis is having a career best shooting season. And Jaylen Brown, well, he's still working on it. The Celtics, they're not perfect. Brown's shooting is a concern and injuries have forced some lineup changing. But when they're fully healthy, this team has all the ingredients for another championship. In fact, if Tatum continues to play at the level he's playing in right now, they're going to be favorites again. To see how Jason Tatum is one of the most disrespected players in the entire league, you gotta check out this video right here.